Imagine a world where every moment of your day is devoted to the pursuit of pleasure, where happiness is never more than a tap away, constant gratification, an endless stream of entertainment, distractions, indulgences, everything designed to satisfy your every craving. Now stop and ask yourself, what's the price of this so-called paradise? Could this relentless chase for happiness be less of a liberation and more of a cleverly disguised prison? Today, we're diving into a disturbing yet profound idea that our modern obsession with comfort and pleasure may not be freeing us, but enslaving us. Drawing from Aldous Huxley's chilling predictions, modern psychology, and the latest data on mental health and technology addiction, we're going to explore how our deepest desires might be silently eroding our freedom, our potential, even our humanity. And by the end, you'll walk away with one powerful idea, one insight that could change the way you see your life forever. Let's begin where the warning signs first rang out, in the haunting world of Brave New World. Aldous Huxley painted a future not ruled by tyrants or dictators, but by pleasure itself. A society lulled into obedience not by chains, but by Soma, a drug that ensures people remain content, no matter how meaningless or mechanized their lives have become. There was no need for force. The pleasure was so all-consuming, no one thought to resist. That, Huxley argued, is the most insidious kind of control. Now look around you. The constant ping of notifications, the infinite scroll of TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, aren't these our modern-day somas? We're offered little hits of joy, engineered to pacify and occupy us. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, the psychologist who studied flow, warned us of this trap. Technology gives us engagement, sure, but it also creates behavioral loops, addictive ones. Algorithms don't just recommend, they feed you what you can't stop watching, what you can't stop needing. Think about it. How often do you reach for your phone, just for a quick dopamine hit, only to realize hours have slipped away? You're more drained, more disconnected, and somehow less fulfilled. This is no accident. This is the hedonic treadmill in action. Psychology tells us no matter how much happiness we get, we quickly adapt. The new car, the new relationship, the new game, the new binge, it all fades. And what do we do next? We crave the next fix. In Huxley's terms, we become prisoners of our own desires, caged not by force, but by the never-ending need for more. And this isn't some abstract concept. It's visible in our declining mental health. A 2020 study from the Journal of Affective Disorders found that excessive screen time, especially on social media, was directly linked to spikes in anxiety and depression. And the most dangerous part? The cycle feeds itself. The more lost and low we feel, the more we reach for the same devices that deepen our emptiness. So what is the real cost of this endless pursuit of pleasure? Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and the author of Man's Search for Meaning, gave us a bold answer. True fulfillment, he argued, doesn't come from chasing happiness. It comes from discovering purpose. When we lose meaning, we fill that void with distractions. But the more we distract ourselves, the more the void grows. Ask yourself, are your daily choices rooted in purpose, or are they just responses to pleasure? This isn't just philosophy, it's daily life. Do you watch one more episode or call your mom? Do you scroll through memes or pick up a book you've been meaning to read? These little choices shape the framework of your entire life. Huxley once said, most human beings have an almost infinite capacity for taking things for granted. And maybe that's the most dangerous part. Because in chasing constant comfort, we risk forgetting the deeper joys. Authentic relationships, creativity, personal growth, and contribution to something larger than ourselves. This leads us to a profound insight. Pleasure, when pursued without boundaries, doesn't liberate us. It traps us. These traps aren't visible, but they're just as real. They show up as cravings, habits, endless distractions, and hours lost to screens and algorithms. They drain our time, our energy, and our ability to think deeply. As we continue this journey, we'll pull back the curtain on the systems that profit from your addiction to pleasure and reveal how you can break free. But first, ask yourself something uncomfortable. Are you truly free, or are you just another consumer in a world built to exploit your attention? Because what comes next will shake how you see not just your habits, but your entire identity. Now imagine a marketplace where the currency isn't money, it's your attention. In this world, the most precious resource isn't gold, oil, or even technology. It's you. Every moment you spend scrolling, clicking, liking, or consuming, you're not just interacting with content, you're being bought and sold. Welcome to the attention economy. A system designed not to inform you, but to own you. It thrives on your addiction to pleasure, keeping you in a state of low-level stimulation and constant distraction. But this isn't accidental. To understand how deeply this system controls us, we need to look at how it hijacks our very biology. Neuroscientist Dr. Robert Sapolsky, a leading expert on dopamine and stress, has revealed something astonishing. Our brains are hardwired to seek rewards. Every time you get a notification, a like, or a win in a mobile game, your brain releases dopamine, the chemical that makes you feel good. But here's the disturbing twist. It's not the reward itself that releases the most dopamine, it's the anticipation. This is why we keep checking our phones even when nothing new is there. Why we refresh the feed, why we open an app, close it, and then open it again just seconds later. It's not rational, it's biochemical. The system is built to trigger this exact response. You're not just using your phone is using you. And the people who build these systems know exactly what they're doing. Tristan Harris, a former Google design ethicist, blew the whistle on this. He revealed that tech platforms use something called intermittent variable rewards, the same psychological trick used in slot machines. It's designed to make your brain ask, what if this time I win? What if this time the notification is something I want? This uncertainty keeps you hooked. Not because of what you're getting, but because you might get something. This isn't entertainment, it's digital gambling. Now let's bring this back to Huxley. In Brave New World, people weren't forced into submission, they embraced it. They consumed pleasure so completely that they no longer questioned anything. There was no need for control by violence. People were too distracted to notice their loss of freedom. Sound familiar? While we may not be popping Soma pills, we are surrounded by endless digital alternatives. TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, streaming platforms that autoplay endlessly, games that never let you win but never let you quit. They all serve the same function, to keep us pacified, to keep us compliant, to keep us chasing pleasure instead of questioning the world around us. And here's why it matters. When we prioritize instant gratification over deeper, more meaningful pursuits, we don't just waste time, we forfeit potential. Every hour lost to shallow entertainment is an hour not spent on becoming better, wiser, stronger. Cal Newport, author of Deep Work, makes this brutally clear. He argues that our obsession with shallow digital engagement is eroding our ability to focus, to think deeply, and to master anything. We're becoming a society of distracted dabblers, busy but hollow, stimulated but stagnant. So ask yourself, how much of your time is spent doing things that actually enrich your life? How often do you choose a quick hit of entertainment over the slow, meaningful work of growth? These aren't shaming questions, they're liberating ones. Because once you see the system, you can start resisting it. But don't be fooled. This isn't just a personal problem, it's cultural. It's systemic. The society we live in doesn't just encourage pleasure seeking, it worships it. Advertisements promise happiness in a bottle, a box, a download. Pop culture equates success with luxury, likes, and status symbols. We're told that more is better, that comfort equals achievement, that struggle is for the weak. Philosopher Erich Fromm warned us about this in To Have or To Be. He argued that the modern obsession with having, possessions, status, pleasure, comes at the cost of being. We no longer ask, who am I becoming? Instead, we ask, what do I have and what can I get next? So, what's the alternative? It begins with a mindset shift, from the pursuit of pleasure to the pursuit of purpose. This doesn't mean giving up joy. It means rethinking what joy actually is. Psychologist Martin Seligman, one of the founders of positive psychology, showed that the most fulfilling lives aren't built on dopamine hits. They're built on engagement, meaning, and authentic relationships. Pleasure is part of the equation, but it's not the goal. So reflect. What actually brings you lasting joy? Not fleeting amusement, but deep, soul-level satisfaction. Is it creating something, helping someone, growing your skills, connecting with others in a real way? Now identify one place in your life where short-term gratification is stealing your long-term fulfillment. It might be small. Maybe it's an hour wasted on social media when it could be spent journaling or practicing a craft. Maybe it's scrolling before bed instead of sleeping or reading. But whatever it is, spot it, name it. That's the first step, because what comes next is where the real transformation begins. We're going to explore how to break the chains of the attention economy and how to reclaim your life through the power of discipline, purpose, and self-mastery. But before we go there, hold on to this one undeniable truth. The pursuit of pleasure, when left unchecked, becomes a form of slavery. To be truly free, we have to learn how to separate what delights us from what's destroying us. And the answers don't lie in the next scroll, the next click, or the next video. They lie in stillness, in reflection, in resistance. Are you ready to reclaim your freedom? So, how do we reclaim our freedom in a world that thrives on keeping us addicted to pleasure? It begins with a radical truth. Real freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you want. It comes from the strength to choose what actually matters. Philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said it best. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. When you have purpose, the fleeting pull of pleasure loses its grip. Purpose becomes your compass. It cuts through the noise, through the cravings, through the distractions, and points you toward a life of true meaning. Think about the people who have changed the world. Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King Jr. They didn't pursue lives of comfort. They embraced struggle, sacrifice, and service. Their fulfillment came not from dopamine spikes, but from deep, purposeful living. And their impact echoes far beyond their lifetimes. Why? Because they chose meaning over momentary indulgence. So how do we find that kind of purpose in our own lives, especially in a world engineered to keep us distracted? Viktor Frankl, who survived the horrors of the Holocaust, offered a map. In man's search for meaning, he revealed 3 paths to purpose: creating something of value, experiencing deep love or connection, and finding growth in suffering. Notice what all 3 have in common. They require us to look beyond ourselves, beyond pleasure, beyond comfort. They require engagement, courage, and vulnerability. Ask yourself these questions. What legacy do I want to leave behind? How can I use my talents to uplift others? When I face pain, can I turn it into fuel for growth? These aren't easy questions, but they're transformative ones. Because once you begin asking them, you start taking the first steps toward real liberation, toward a life that isn't dictated by algorithms or impulses, but directed by intention. And here's the ultimate revelation, the truth that ties this entire journey together. The pursuit of pleasure, while seductive, is a distraction, a brilliant, blinding distraction from the deeper pursuit of meaning. Aristotle called it eudaimonia, a flourishing life. Not a life of endless highs, but a life aligned with virtue, wisdom, and purpose. To live this way, we must develop discipline, not punishment, not restriction, but power. The power to choose long-term fulfillment over short-term comfort. Discipline is what allows you to say no to what's easy and yes to what's essential. As former Navy SEAL and author Jocko Willink puts it, discipline equals freedom. Because only when you master your impulses can you truly shape your life, rather than be shaped by it. So where do you begin? Start small. Wake up 10 minutes earlier to meditate, write, or simply breathe without distraction. Set a boundary, turn off notifications, limit screen time, create pockets of focus in your day. Dedicate time to something meaningful, a side project, a skill, a cause. These tiny daily decisions add up. They're not insignificant, they're revolutionary, especially in a world built to keep you numb. Here's another powerful step: embrace discomfort. The truth is, growth lives outside the comfort zone. Whether it's learning something new, pushing through failure, or sitting with painful emotions instead of avoiding them, these moments shape you. And every time you choose discipline over indulgence, you take back a little more of your power. Each choice is a quiet rebellion, a rejection of the world that profits from your passivity, a step toward becoming the person you were meant to be. Let's return to Aldous Huxley one last time. He didn't just warn us about a future where pleasure enslaves us. He believed in our ability to wake up, to resist, to choose differently. In Brave New World, the greatest tragedy wasn't the presence of oppression. It was the absence of resistance. People love their chains, but we don't have to. You have a choice, right now. Will you continue to follow the easy path, shaped by impulses, guided by algorithms, driven by distractions? Or will you rise above, embracing the challenge of intention, effort, and meaning? Because this isn't just about you. This is about everyone who watches you. Your friends, your family, your future children. The people you'll influence just by choosing to live awake, alive, free. So share your story. Speak up. Let others know that they're not alone in the fight to reclaim their lives from the grip of comfort culture. This journey isn't about perfection, it's about awareness and action. Let us build a world where freedom isn't a forgotten ideal, but a lived reality. Let us remember what it means to grow, to serve, to struggle, to become. The chains may be invisible, but they can be broken. The path may be steep, but it leads to greatness. Choose wisely and step boldly into the life you were meant to live. If this video shook something in you, don't scroll past. Comment, "I choose freedom" below. Let's see how many of us are waking up. And if you're ready to break your chains, subscribe. The journey starts now.